You want to do a funny story?
Oh, no. Do the 1 to 96 draw.
Oh yes, do the one. Why not? Yeah.
Do you want me to do that one? Okay.
I think so.
I think I can remember sort of knocking on Roger's door one day and saying, I think we've got a bit of a problem, Houston. My grandfather was trained in Vienna and was part of the whole Viennese secessionist movement and was really a very creative man in his own right. And in the way that they taught people in that era, they were taught not only architecture but industrial design, textile design, silversmithing. They were very hands-on and very craft related, and of course the secessionist movement was all about craft as well. And I guess that's where my love of that sort of level of detail came from. I was always interested in theatre and enjoyed going to the theatre, and I decided to take a few electives, which were set design, and Peter Corrigan took me for a couple of those subjects, and I always enjoyed it and thought that might be an area of interest. And as a work experience program, I applied for a position at the ABC. I was employed as obviously a junior, an assistant to one of the principal set designers there, a gentleman by the name of Paul Cleveland, who became really one of my first, I guess, beyond my family, I guess, one of my first real mentors. And I'd enjoyed very much the collaborative nature of working in television, where multiple and diverse skills, you know, you've got a costume designer, a set designer, a props maker, a scenic artist, the producer, the director, the lighting, all of these diverse and talented and skilled people all coming in to make an end product. I applied at Bates Smart and I was asked to come in for an interview, and in fact Roger Poole, still a director and chairman of Bates Smart now, interviewed me, and I was successful in getting a part-time job, and I went to work immediately on some commercial office fit-out projects. I guess the biggest change over the years, and probably when I first came to Bates Smart, the interior, other than specific projects which were clearly an interior design project from the beginning, such as a commercial office fit-out, when it came to buildings, I think it'd be fair to say, and this is in the early 80s to mid 80s, that interior design was very much seen as the second tier. I think the significant difference now is that there is no question that interior designers are part of the journey and are fundamental and are brought in right at the beginning of the project. Normally there is a big fat pen and a roll of yellow trace, and I guess the staff know they hardly begin a meeting without the roll of yellow trace there, and I just find almost can't converse without the hands and the pen to do a drawing. Clients really enjoy it when you pick up a pen and sketch an idea out in front of them and work with them. It enables them, I think, the clients to feel like they are a part of the design journey, and I think that's also very important. On a commercial basis, Bates Smart's a very funny organisation. We've been around for 160 years. And clearly, to be in business for that period of time, you need to focus on commercial return. But it isn't our number one key driver. And there are a number of larger international practices that might think we're nuts, but first and foremost comes the project. And the joy for me, and I know from many of my directors, is the production of architecture and interior design of excellence. That's the number one driver. If we can make it work to commercial return, clearly that's what we do. Look, there are a number of projects of significance. You know, doing work for, I guess, that for your country is quite something, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing the Australian Embassy in Berlin. I think Royal Children's Hospital would no doubt be one of the great projects I've had the pleasure of working on, in that it really did, I think, break new ground in the way in which hospitals deal with people, and because that hospital in particular is so close to the heart of so many Melburnians, Victorians and Australians, and so it was extremely meaningful. There are other clients. Clearly Crown has given us incredible opportunities over the years to produce projects of, I think, outstanding merit. They're incredibly informed. They know their market positioning, and they make us work hard to assist them in determining at all times their market positioning. And there are other long-standing clients like Clayton Utz, who we've been working with for over 20 years, who continue to have faith in us, and we continue to try to produce the very best for them. So I guess they're the key ones over the years. Which is perfect. Yeah. So one goes behind here, one goes. The work that we do is the product of so many thousands and thousands of individuals, a lot at Bates Smart who work long hours, and like I've just mentioned, have been dedicated to the project more than their own personal time or reward. And I guess in some ways it sort of frustrates me to see so much production going offshore when we should be nurturing those skills in Australia. And I guess it goes back to sort of those days that I mentioned in Vienna where it was together. It was the artisan with the artist creating the end product. And so I sometimes despair the commercial imperative and the lack and potential loss of that skill base in Australia.
And Piedmont Bridge is quite...
Bates might have been in interiors since 1949 formally, but one day this, I thought, extremely talented young man turned up in the office and had, I thought, prodigious promise. But in terms of track record, most of his work had been in set design. So it was basically there was this kind of leap of faith that one needed to say, here is potentially a wonderful interior designer, but we just have to say, okay, most of his experience is in television. And I thought, that's not a bad thing. And so we hired him, and it's the smartest thing, one of the smartest things I've ever done. When we were doing Crown, was probably in charge of 100 people doing an unbelievable amount of bespoke, different interiors in different areas for different reasons with different briefs. And I've seen that growth, and you know what? There are very few designers in the world who could actually do that. What Jeffrey does is a high wire act, because you're basically reaching into an area that everyone understands. People say, well, the facade's the facade. Oh, that's a nice building. It's silver, it's black. Oh, I like it. It fits into the city. But when you start fiddling with interiors, everyone understands whether a chair is comfortable. Everyone knows whether they like it.
I often
There's
covet
a whole lot
the
of predispositions.
Covet the mechanical engineer, because no one's going to say, I don't think that piece of plant that you've designed is appropriate.
Yeah.
Whereas everyone has a view on what the reception area should look like in the new corporate office, and everyone gets asked. So
absolutely. And
in my next life, I'm coming back as a mechanical engineer. You hide the last bracket. And Jan Faulkner's opening remarks to me when I told her I was going to do interior design was, she said, there's only one thing you need to learn, and that's how to sell. She told me I needed to learn how to sell, but Roger taught me how to sell. And that's true, really.
Jeff as a designer is enormously respected and popular, and I think a very worthy gold medal recipient. But I think the reason his work is so admired is because a combination of things, the versatility, his ability to do a casino, do a children's hospital, do high-end residential fit out, do an office lobby, do a cigar bar, etc. This extraordinary versatility. And I think that engagement with life, that engagement with curiosity of the way people are, what drives them, how they feel, how they want to be at leisure, how they want to be at work, but also a relentless concern for the evolution of the contemporary without leaving behind the past. So if I were on the jury, I would have given him the medal.